As more North Carolina businesses reopen thanks to more loosened COVID-19 restrictions, many companies are searching for help. If you're a job seeker, maybe you don't know where to start after the many months of job hunting with no luck. Well, we have some experts here for you to help you out. We are talking on 2 Wants to Know today all about unemployment, the whole process, and also as new employment and searching for jobs. We've got experts to help you navigate this process all the way from the unemployment to getting that new job. Marie-Amelie George is a law professor at Wake Forest University. Chris Rivera is the Guilford Works Director, and Will Graham is the COO of Graham Personnel Services. So if you have a question, this is the way that you get your question to our experts. You text that question. The number is 336-379-5775. Remember, this is a text-only number, so please don't call that number. It is text-only. We're going to keep that number on the bottom left-hand side of the screen so that you're able to text as we are talking with our experts. All right, Chris Rivera, let's start with you. We've had a bunch of emails from people who are trying to go through the unemployment process and saying that they're having some problems with the ID.me point of it, that program. So can you help us understand what may be happening?
Yeah, so from our understanding, the state contracted with a third-party vendor to verify the identity of individuals that are filing unemployment claims. ID.me verifies an individual's identity by collecting their photo ID, driver's license, passport, social security number, and other sensitive information, in which they then send that over to DES to then move through the claims process. As you open the segment, a number of individuals are having significant issues with that, but it is required for all claimants moving forward. So if you file a claim, you will be required to verify that. Lastly, I would say that from what I have heard, individuals will have to have access to the original email account that they have established their claim. So previous claimants who know their login information, but had an email account from years ago, would need to be able to have access to that because ID.me is sending that verification link to the original email. If that is not verified, it could lock the claim and 4 weeks then puts it into adjudication.
Okay, and so if you don't have that email any longer, that could cause a huge problem.
A very huge problem.
Okay, and so again, what we're probably going to tell folks is to try and get in touch with DES about that, but that we know is not the easiest thing to do either.
That is correct. And my understanding that there is also a ID.me helpline in which you can do a virtual verification, but that is equally as backlogged for individuals as well.
Okay. All right. So this is another step in the process as we're continuing to go on with this coronavirus relief there. Okay. So Marie-Amelie, let's go to you next because everybody's in the middle of taxes at the moment. This is tax season. Tax day has actually been moved to May the 17th. And sometimes people were a little surprised to find out that their unemployment income is taxable in some realms.
Yes. So unemployment benefits are income, they are taxable as income. However, under the new federal law, the federal government will consider the first $10,200 of unemployment benefits as non-taxable income. So you don't have to pay federal taxes on $10,200 of unemployment benefits.
Right, unfortunately,
however,
yes, yeah, you're going to hit North Carolina. Okay, good.
Yeah, North Carolina is taxing that income. So you will probably have a different amount of income that is taxable under the federal law as opposed to North Carolina law. And tax systems may not have quite caught up to that. I think programmers are still sort of frantically trying to make sure things align. So make sure that your program, whatever you're doing to file your taxes, has that programmed in it. And keep in mind that you do have until May 17th this year, which should give you some breathing room.
Okay, which is good. All right. Will, we're going to end this first segment with you. Just quickly, let's kind of talk about there are jobs that are open. And every time people always ask, what are the main kinds of jobs that are open? What are you seeing right now?
Jobs across all industries, manufacturing, logistics, warehouse, healthcare, and IT are certainly leading the way. But then we're also seeing restaurant and hospitality coming back. Really, from a job standpoint, hopefully the darkest days are behind us. We had a record high unemployment rate in April of 2020 was the highest we've had in 50 years. That was about 14.8%. It's really dropped down to about 6%. So we've made a lot of improvements. We still have a lot of ways to go, but there are a lot of jobs out there. It is not as gloom and doom as it was 6 to 9 months ago.
And Chris Rivera is also nodding his head in agreement, because NC Works and Guilford Works, they have a whole list of job opportunities as well. We're going to talk a little bit about that coming up in the next segment. In the meantime, you can still text us your questions at 336-379-5775.